What is that noise? It's the return of the Dubfeat Variety Hour.
Hey, what up? What up, Sophie? That's the nails in the background. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
What is going on? That is a good question.
Well, we have a lot. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole it's been a while, but because nobody cares. But
I do that enough in every post I put on any podcast lately. It's always disclaimer: I am not dead. Disclaimer: I've been busy. Disclaimer: I got a new job. Disclaimer: I just have not been online.
Well, here's the thing: we have been busy.
Yes.
And we'll get to the finer details of that. But
the ins and outs.
But Detective Stewart is now in our memories. Well, he was always in our memories, but he's officially RIP'd.
He's no longer among us.
So for those who don't know, probably at this point, I actually confidently can say at this point, I think all of our inner circle and whoever was acquainted to us is aware. But Detective Stewart, Damien and I just officially posted episode 7.
Yep.
Which is the final episode of Detective Stewart ever. I mean, Damien and I were saying, mostly Damien about cameo appearances, and there's nothing wrong with that. I agree. For sure. But in terms of, giving Detective Stewart a final resting place and giving him his having him go out on high, I think it was well deserved. And for those who haven't seen it or are finding this out for the first time or whatever, or go check that out.
Catch the fuck up. Like, where have you been? You living under a rock?
Well, where can they find that, Damien?
You can find it exclusively on YouTube.
Perfect. And that's under the D-Man Stewart.
Actually, no, it's on Detective Stewart's page.
Oh, it's on Detective Stewart's page. Okay. And
yep.
On the description of this podcast, we'll make sure to link it.
All of my pages link to it, essentially.
Perfect,
if you follow me on any social media, it's the first link that comes up in that. So.
Oh, and
it's there.
And easy enough, just type in Detective Stewart on YouTube, and it comes up as one of the first few searches.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Detective Stewart. So let's talk about that because the last time we met up, this wasn't even in the works. Now, just to put it out there, Damien and I never discussed finishing Detective Stewart in the sense like we were going to be done with him.
Right. We threw around a few ideas of making a skit, and we had a point where we did the multiverse. We did the multiverse before Spider-Verse did it. If you think about it, I don't know. Did we talk about how he was devised and how he came about?
I don't think we ever did. I
guess the better question is here: do we peel back the full mask of the fact of?
Oh, for sure.
Detective Stewart is not himself.
Yeah,
he's me, guys. I don't know if you guys knew it.
Oh, sorry if you haven't been following it.
Daniel Stewart is not my twin brother.
No, Detective Stewart is the brainchild of COVID.
Yes,
that sounds
100%.
But
he's the product of brain fog in COVID.
Yeah. Well, we laugh all the time because COVID brought about a lot of creative storms for us.
Yeah.
And one of those being, aside from the podcast, was Detective Stewart. Mm-hmm. And that was just a random thing that, we wanted to shoot something one day and this thing got developed.
And we were shooting other, because I realized I saw posts of one of our projects with Detective Stewart, and then within like 2 weeks, we turned over another film project. So we were like rapid fire.
Yeah.
On top of probably in between that recording a podcast and watching a movie when we had some downtime. Obviously, there was less moving parts and stuff also happening too. So there was time. I mean, all we had was fucking time.
Oh yeah.
So I think
sure.
that's exactly what we kind of ran with what we had, and
yeah,
and that was time.
And but that's what it was. With the time, there was no rush. Our schedules were pretty open. So
yeah,
I wouldn't say like Detective Stewart was took days and weeks and months and years to develop. No. It was kind of like a spur of the moment sort of situation.
It was on a whim, and
yeah.
I know because I'm just thinking of like how the context and the concept of the episodes, they were short, sweet, simple, and we kind of as we've done many times was hit the ground running and just see what we get.
Yeah,
and
once it was filmed and edited and all that stuff, we had a lot of discussions, and I was like, all right, let's try something else, because I think I think the first episode was like a good not a trial, but like every pilot, it's not gonna be perfect,
Right.
and you kind of learn with the characters and all that, and like where it's gonna
Right.
be.
I mean, fucking, we've formed with the character that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Because the character, literally from the first episode to now, the voice is not the same.
Oh yeah, no, for
It's
sure.
more like me doing a really weird kind of impression of just the guy and then it became more like this.
Yeah.
An angry, hardened detective.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're right.
it's
I-
taken some more.
You've mentioned that in the past, and I never took note of it until the seventh episode was airing, and I was like, I went back just to get a better, not perspective, but just touch base with all the stuff we shot to make sure we're being cohesive with everything. And,
Right, yeah.
And yeah, the voices are different, but that's obviously that's progression. And also keep in mind for everyone that's listening, Detective Stewart is not something that Damien and I did last week. This has been going on again since COVID, so we're almost at we're almost 4 years. Well, not 4 years, but it's been a solid hard 3 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of this. So take that for what it's worth. So within that time, 7 episodes got made, and again, all of them were done on no budget, of course. And most of the time was just Damien and I.
Yeah.
Once in a while we had your brother, but
Yep.
And then through that we started experimenting, and Detective Stewart started doing some weird shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
But
I think the weird shit was also prompted with us trying to flex some of our skills that we were trying to own.
yeah,
So like we were trying, you were definitely trying to get a little more fluent in like After Effects and blood effects and all those effects. So we were trying to make them a little more bloody.
Yeah.
I was more curious about editing in DaVinci, so I was trying to like try things in different ways. I ended up like animating him loosely in like a 5 seconds in Detective Episode 5, 4, whatever it was.
when
No,
he gets
5.
animated, yeah.
So we were just trying to like exhaust all options, but it was also all very experimental in the essence of us trying to like try different things within the film world, not just for the sake of Detective Stewart, but because
Right.
we wanted to learn more by like trying. So
And yeah, I mean that's why I'm jumping back and forth here, but that's why when we finally wrapped up, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
The very last episode, it hit me in a way that I didn't expect it would. Like I knew I was going to be affected by it emotionally because of how much life and time I know Damien's been hearing
Yeah.
this so much from me, same lines. But
I will not to cut you off, but I will say this: I think that's why I've been making all these stupid fucking promos.
Just not to let
it's
it
my
die.
it's my way to stay fixated and still sort of hold on to it, because I still have to put out some more behind the scenes stuff, and then after that that's
that's
it.
kind of it. Yeah.
So I'm holding on.
And no, but because look, we've been working on stuff for. I mean, I hate to say because it's gonna date us here, but
Yeah, fuck.
almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And to do so many projects, but they were short lived, and like we did in a couple of days. Stupid little things.
Yeah.
But this one literally took 3
Oh,
years to
man.
finish. But this particular episode took. I call this the 4 seasons episode.
Yeah.
Because we literally
one-
shot in the winter and ended in the summer.
Yeah. This one took months.
This took months.
It was a couple days of filming per, I guess, lack of a better word, sessions. Every session we had was a couple days switched together. But then it was trying to figure out this, trying to find a solution for that, trying to figure how the fuck are we going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And then taking the full circle back, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead too
No,
far.
no, go.
But
go.
our first cut of this was completely different than what the final product was.
Right.
What we initially put on the timeline and I exported out. This is what we considered to be the movie. It was probably 4 or 5 minutes long.
So
And it was like, what the fuck is this? But there was an essence of something there, just not quite exactly how we wanted it to be.
right. So reiterating on that point, we made a decision. We had a conversation about letting this be it. And when we shot it, I mean, don't get me wrong. We still shot a little bit in pieces, but nowhere near as long as it ended up being. But
Yeah.
But when we filmed it, edited it, and basically had it complete.
Yeah, the initial take actually wasn't. It was very much not as like a final one. It was just another fucked up happenstance of Detective Stewart.
Yeah.
And then,
because in that obviously people are, unless you post it,
Yeah.
how that ends is Detective Stewart kills the wrong person.
he rolls up on a barbecue and kills a family at a barbecue thinking it's a killer, and then he gets arrested as opposed to
Right.
the killer he was supposed to.
Very Seinfeld-y.
Exactly. Yes. Which probably was a realization of like maybe we've exhausted all the things we need with him, and let's do what we got to do.
Let's gotta do what we gotta do. Absolutely, because if we ended it like that, it would have been it would have been wrong.
Well, what's funny too is I think soon after that, you mentioned ending it, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready to do that. But then literally and physically, I guess like because of all the weather and allergies and shit, doing the Detective Stewart voice made my throat hurt a lot more than. And it's such a stupid thing to complain about. But I just remember like after we shot the couple of days, the first stretch,
Right.
my voice was so hoarse and I felt like shit, and I'm like, I told myself in the Detective Stewart, I think we gotta finally retire this character. And then like soon after that, then you mentioned it, and I'm like, I was just like, I think he's right. I think it's time we send him
say
off
goodbye.
the old pasture. We old Yeller, the son of a bitch.
I think
In no disrespectful way. It was we wanted to sign him off and let him go on his pasture.
and I think we did. I
think we
really
did.
do think we did. I mean, look, spoiler ahead, I guess, because it's been out for over almost 2 weeks, or it has been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
Detective Stewart dies at the end, but he does finally solve a case properly.
Yes.
And he does grow in the episode as a character and what have you. And I think, I just was taking a shower one day and I was like, man, when we were having this discussion, I was like, this guy, he's gonna die. In my head, I was like, he's gonna die. But to go out in a blazing glory,
Exactly.
it just felt like
it's
him.
fair for him because of him being so aloof and stupid and never really solving a crime and getting fixated on the wrong things
Right.
and chasing fucking pigeons.
Right. That he would actually be the one to be the hero. At
He
the end.
needed a final win, and at least to say his piece and relay to my niece to pick up the mantle.
Well, and then, so that being said, and if anyone is wondering why the hell this took so long, scheduling was just a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
But B, the last scene. So now, hearing us talk about this, we should actually, for the record, we should probably make this a director's commentary.
Yeah,
we should do a director's commentary. But
yeah.
But B, that whole barbecue scene at the end.
Yeah.
It was just. It was very complicated.
Yeah, I mean, we went back and we did the most prep work for a scene that we've done in our entire career of making things.
I know, which is sad because it wasn't like that. But
it is, and it isn't sad, but it is a little sad. But all that considered,
right.
I mean, we went back and we wrote it.
Yep,
you wrote it out. We
storyboarded it.
We storyboarded it on top of that, and then we took the time to shoot that whole fucking thing. I mean, what if in a perfect world we would have choreographed the whole thing and rehearsed it and then shot it, but then we, as per day one, it's always been a skeleton crew between you and I, and then when we even tried to flex out a crew a little bit bigger, we had complications that came up that we'll bite our tongues and hold for another time.
I'll bring it up.
No, by all means, go ahead.
So, as usual,
God invented the bleep button for a reason.
Absolutely.
Cocksuckers.
So, we had in the past we've used a past
Help me.
for actually the short film Bury the Past, and also she was in she's in this in the very beginning, but I guess we've had her in other things. It's funny because a lot of the shit she's helped us with, most of the stuff has not been done, and we just put it aside, not because of her.
Oh, the what was it, the guest, the what was the other one?
Oh, you're right. Okay, so you're right. Okay, so she was in that black and white one.
Yeah.
You're right. She is in that one.
House guest.
House guest. Yeah. House visit.
House visit.
Whatever. One knows. So here's the thing. So is she's a 21-year-old kid, inspiring filmmaker. Went to the same college I did, and whatever. And she showed interest in helping us, and we desperately needed another hand while we do these things. So over the course of 2 years or so, she's helped us. But in this particular situation,
Yep.
and I'm talking about this one particular day, she screwed us over. And again, this was still Detective Stewart. She screwed us over while we were shooting this back in the wintertime because we needed the extra hand.
Yep.
Not going to get into that. But what happened here is she reached out, asked us if we wanted to, if we needed a hand, can she come on? And we were like, we really needed for the barbecue scene because we needed set dressing and we needed to do runs for coffee and food because we had Damien's niece and his cousin here. And we actually had another person who was going to play the songbird.
We had everything more set up than the job I'm currently working on. There isn't even water on set at the job I'm currently working. So keep that in mind. We had everything for the kids. We had stuff for ourselves, but it was more to keep morale and everything going on a scene that we presumed and knew was going to be a lot on everybody.
Yep.
So we wanted to have every P and Q in place, in addition to making our lives easier to the point where we had intentions of bringing 2 cameras, having 2 rolling at the same time to get coverage as we're doing this. So cover every basis in order to make this as pristine and good and as quality inducing as possible.
And the 2 cameras would be that I would shoot on one and then I would trade off with Damien because I was also supposed to be in the scene as well.
Yes.
But be on B cam just to operate and just make sure everything's in focus.
Monitor and all that, yeah.
And she was okay with it. And she seemed happy with it and whatever. And then the fucking day before, the day of.
The morning of.
I went to go and give her, because she was already close to me, so I went to go give her a bag of stuff.
Her address is.
Just for her to bring while I was picking up Damien and crew, the nieces, because at that point, we also got fucked over by Damien's who was supposed to play Songbird, who had issues with his former job and bailed out on us, I guess, the morning of, too. Or the day before or some shit.
No, it was the same morning, yeah.
So that happened. So we were getting our heads around that, and then I get a text from saying, hey, I forgot that I had a graduation party or something, and if I could, I'll maybe make it there at 12, if I'm back in time. I was like, all right, go fuck yourself. So what ended up happening is, mind you, the barbecue scene took a month just to even start shooting anything. And at this point, we didn't shoot shit yet. This was literally the first day of shooting the barbecue scene.
We shot up to literally that point.
Yeah.
And we to the point where we were considering shooting little inserts and everything just to give us enough so we were good to go. So any little extra wouldn't have to be thought about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, as any opportunity or any time we've spoken with her, she's green.
Yeah.
We've brought her on set with us many a times.
Yeah.
And we figured it would be another opportunity for her to learn and flex and figure all that stuff out, which is all part of this whole fucking magical industry.
Yep.
So.
But she flaked out on us.
She did not fucking show.
And so it was left to Damien and I to do this big complicated scene, just us two with the kids.
Yep.
And at the same time, the plan B, which we had spoken about, was everything goes down south, then we will either I'll be a stand-in for Songbird, and then Damien's gonna be a stand-in for Songbird, and we would have to like Eddie Murphy and a complicated scene on top of a complicated scene.
Yes.
Just adding all these bits to it. It's like fuck, but that's what we were left with. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is pretty much I'm glad we took the time to account for the potential that was going to happen.
Right.
But we knew what we were getting into once that was the roll of the dice for us, that it was going to be chaos and it was going to fill up our day. It made what we already had designated for a day to be like guaranteed to be 100% full day. We weren't from even like at the beginning of the day. We're like, we might get done with everything in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
We might have leftover time, and the kids will be able to go home by like 4 or whatever. And then after all this stuff started falling apart, then we're like, all right, we got to dedicate the rest of the fucking afternoon to this. So,
and even doing all that, because the end result was that Kedron, just by sheer luck, end up not having work, and so he was able to jump on and give us a hand with that and play Songbird. But not because of that, but just things in general, because we had blood involved and all this stuff. So when you have effects and then you have like action scenes and all this shit, we end up shooting 2 more days.
Yeah.
Right, it was 3 days total with that
And
bit.
actually, one of the reasons we ended up shooting longer was because of blood effects issues.
Yeah.
We were trying to get the blood going, and it like fucking
Yeah.
it backfired to the umpteenth power on us. We're like, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, because originally we had set something we bought in the past to use, but it didn't work the way we wanted it to. And Debbie,
Yeah.
our fire extinguisher, I thought she was no longer working, but go to show
We thought she was out of commission, but she's fucking back.
she's
baby.
back. We bought a mini air compressor thingy, and she worked pretty well. Not as good as she used to, but she definitely she gave us what we needed to get through the thing. But
Check out what movie? Ring a ding ding. Ring
Yeah.
a ding ding. You'll see her. You'll see her
in
first,
full glory.
First glory, full glory.
Yeah.
Also in Eclipse, also in other films. Please check it all out on YouTube.
So, but we got through it.
Yeah.
We finished everything. We finished last month, in May, and then Damien hopped on, and still currently on a feature. So most of the time has been occupied with that. But but because we edited everything up until basically the barbecue stuff, we essentially just had to cut that down, and we ran through those complications too.
I sent you 1,000 versions of Act 1, Act 2, and Act 2.5.
Yeah.
And pretty much we determining back from the back and forth and cutting it down, we realized, all right, these are pretty much locked. Now we just need to nail, edit, and finalize the final part of it. So.
Exactly.
And so the task began.
And so it did. And that took, even regardless with all the scheduling, that took a week or not a week, but like 2 weeks or so of fine tuning. And then we finally premiered it June. It was last week. So it was June something.
Yeah, I forget.
But sometime last week.
I'll look it up right now.
Okay, stand by.
By the magic of podcast timing, it'll be as if I looked it up for just 1 second. Doom, 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 doom. 10 days ago, not even 2 weeks.
Oh, geez. Okay. So today's what? The 6th? No, sorry. Today's the 3rd?
Today's the 3rd, and it was up on June 22nd.
22nd. Okay.
Yep.
So just to give you guys an idea that, we shot that in May, about a month or less than a month later, we had it up and running.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, this is something we said too once we finished, once it was done, and we gave both of us gave each other a
time away from it.
Time away from it.
Yeah, simply put.
Watching it again, there are a couple of moments where it's like, okay, we could have whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing's gonna be perfect.
No.
And
you could just coming from the editor standpoint, you could stare at it 1,000 times, and certain things will, no matter what, it's going to be the same, regardless of how much you try to change it or tweak it. It's going to be the same, and some things will bother you forever. But at the end of the day, did it still pack a wallop? It fucking did. So
yeah,
I was glad that after I took a break from watching it and people were watching it, and I was getting nice comments. Thank you for all those who gave me the nice comments. I still not watched it. It took me I want to say when did I say I watched it? I forget. It was probably a few days after.
Definitely a few days later.
Yeah, it was 3-4 days, and I was like, all right, I'm going to finally watch it. Yeah.
So it's there. I mean, that's the saga of the Detective Stewart. 3 years, 7 episodes.
Yeah.
In 2 were meant to be, never finished.
Yes. Maybe I'll post some of those scenes on the webs.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Because they're floating around on a hard drive for sure.
Yeah. Oh, the one in the apartment
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We had an empty apartment, and we were trying to utilize it as a kidnapping.
Yeah.
Sort of follow up to when he is in the hospital or in an asylum. We left it ambiguous, and then we started shooting it, and it just kind of didn't go anywhere.
No, I don't think it didn't go anywhere. I think we shot it. We started, and then I moved.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Taylor, she was pregnant.
You're
at that
right.
time,
You're right.
yeah.
It's not that it didn't go anywhere. We needed more to shoot because we didn't finish shooting.
Yeah, and we couldn't get back.
And we couldn't get that location back because it was gone. Yeah, you're right.
So that's where we've been.
Yeah.
We have YouTube shorts up there now. We through this podcast where I think I would love to do the director's commentary.
Oh, for sure.
And just kind of run through the whole thing and get our whatever. But look, I think here's my take on it, and then I'll shut up.
Yeah.
But my take on it is on this whole thing is I think
don't stop believing.
I think
hold on to your feelings.
I think it becomes I always knew we would finish it,
Oh yeah.
and I always and it had to be done, right? Because I felt like there was no fucking way we could have just we left it, and that's a mutual feeling
of
for
course.
both of us. Yeah,
With all the projects that we've done, whether they're bad, we've always completed them,
yeah.
and we're not quitters where it's like, oh, this is fucking terrible. I mean, for
Well,
perfect
I guess
example,
we had like two of those that I guess.
Traffic Dead Ahead. We
Yeah.
watched it and we realized how bad it was. And it's like, all right, well, uploading to YouTube now.
Yeah. Well, because at the end of the day, I guess it is finished.
Yeah.
And
And it's not like hard work wasn't put into it.
Right.
It just, just the final product wasn't
good
as what we expected.
right. But for this, I think what this has taught me, because all in all, this has become the longest thing project I've worked on.
Yeah.
And not like I'm not counting the 3 years, just this episode in particular.
Right.
And to shoot it, a few hours or because actually, sorry, these weren't even a few hours. Every time we shot, we shot.
It was
they
full
were
day.
full days. I mean, these were putting
We
in
shot
time.
until the sun went
Allowed
down.
us to,
The last time we shot, the last day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right towards the very end, we were squeezing as much daylight in as possible. But I will say, I think going back, moving forward, and then while I'm moving forward, I'll also look back at all this, and I will do like I did with many of the other projects we've worked on, where I think where we watch it on a random day, on a random meetup.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which
And
we've
then
done many a times.
Many a times. And that feeling of it's almost like a artificial, like your brain forgets you've seen it.
Yeah.
And so it's like watching it for the first time.
Fucking hey, I did that with we did that the other day, and we're watching stuff, and I completely forgot the ending of like 3 different movies that
That's
we
true.
did.
That's
And I was
true.
like, wait a minute, but I was there. We shot this.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
So.
And I know for this one in particular, I know we will have that feeling, because I think it's a big chunk of our life. It's a big chunk of our filmography, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But I think
I'll call it that. I have no problem.
but having it be the way we ended in, the time we put in, and the stories behind it too. I mean, I know I mean, at least I'm sugarcoating it for myself to not bore anybody, but this process could literally be taught to kids at film school on things you should do and not do, and things to work on. Because
Yes.
we've made errors ourselves, but I think a lot of the moments making this would have other people would have been like, fuck this, whatever.
Oh, 100%.
So
And to just sort of
please.
grow from that. I mean, we've trial and errored a gazillion and a half fucking things.
Oh yeah,
From first project to the final project. But to say we haven't learned from the first one to now, we've learned so much from the first fucking thing we've shot to like all the way now that we still put forward onto the project we do now. So, or the projects we do now. So it's always a learning process, and it's a grateful process, and I've been happy to do this all along the way since day one. So
same.
great experience. Tell you what.
Well,
I will say.
Yeah,
what
please.
do you feel is the future of Detective Stewart, or Detective Stewart, or potentially Detective Cassie? Now, and I will add to this with my brother-in-law, Cassidy's dad. He was already just spitballing ideas after watching it. He's like, "Yo, I got so many crazy ideas for the
he did watch it?
potential." Yeah. Oh yeah. He's one of the reviews up on the YouTube.
Really?
Video. Yeah.
What did he say?
He said I was on my toes.
That was
he
him?
said that the movie had him on his toes.
Oh,
yeah.
good shit, okay.
And he didn't like he texted me like right after he watched it, but he was the one saying he's been waiting for it to come out, because I dropped like the little promo of me walking along the brick wall, and he's like he commented on it. He says I'm waiting, and then when I saw him in person, he was like, "Yo, dude, when you dropping that thing, I'm excited." So
I never would have. You do have a friend named Anthony, right? Okay. No, because
yeah, I know a few people named Anthony, but
I just never would have taken your brother-in-law as someone who would watch Detective Stewart.
Right.
I don't know. It just
Yeah.
It didn't dawn on me.
yeah.
I didn't realize he. Did you
don't
even
know
know he was watching it?
Well, I know the fact. I assume the fact that his daughter being in it probably
Sure.
assisted in the wanting to watch it, perhaps.
Right.
But I'm pretty like he watched all the other ones, because he was asking about like when he was saying the potential for the the sort of Cassidy spinoff as a new detective.
Right.
He was talking about bringing in the trauma that she dealt with in the final episode, but he was also like, "Why don't we bring back Kedron's robot character, and I've got my paintball character to bring in, and it could be an interesting back and forth." And I was like he put some thought into it just like from watching it. So the fact that he watched their movie and it inspired him, pretty fucking cool.
I didn't know that.
So yeah,
I actually didn't know that. I mean, I saw the comment, but I thought it
yeah.
was.
Well,
I didn't think it was him.
I didn't give you the full-fledged out because I figured we'd talk about it here.
Oh,
but,
that's pretty
but
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
So
to answer your question, and now knowing that,
Tom's like, it's done.
no. I think. Well, Detective Stewart. I think it's. I think
If
Detective
he
Stewart
tries
is
to make anything about this, we will sue his fucking life away.
done. I think Detective Stewart is done. In my opinion, he's done.
Yeah.
Now, it does have grounds for Detective Cassidy.
Yeah.
The only reason I hesitate with that is because now you're dealing with kids,
Right.
and if there was ever a time to shoot, it would be like now in the summer.
Yeah. Right.
But otherwise, that makes scheduling so complicated, and now you're dealing with.
I mean, fuck. We shot that while they were still in school. And
Right.
we
That's why it made it so
us,
complicated.
It gave us 2 days.
Yeah. Saturdays, right? No.
Yeah. Well,
We shot a Saturday, and then we shot a Sunday.
we shot a Saturday, then we shot after school, didn't we?
Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
squeeze in
And
the few hours we had. Yeah.
And we did. We had to get them back in time for pizza and homework, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know. It's hard to say now.
Complicated, but doable.
It's complicated
Doable,
but doable for
yeah.
Detective Cassidy for sure.
I think there would be some things that we learned from this one in terms of working with kids. We'd have to sort of like, I guess
Well, it's an interesting point because we did have. So part of where we lost a lot of time is that Cassidy is a very sweet kid, but she's also shy.
Yeah.
And you could tell she was shy, very shy, and it took a lot for her to warm up.
It took some time for her to get there, but once she got there,
she got there.
Yeah, once
she
she got
got
there,
there.
she was churning on all cylinders.
Oh yeah, but then then we had
Veda.
Veda, thank you, who started great, and then he he lost interest.
He just got hyper and kind of got distracted and just kind of wanted to be a goofball, as he always continues to be, as most kids are. But
they're long days for them, and that's the only thing I worry about because it's like if we decide to do that and move forward with that, then it's it's just kids are tough to deal with. But I'm always willing to try it because at this point we have an idea in the works that I think would be really good.
Yeah.
For our next project. It's not a series or anything. It's just its own
and
thing.
it's also a good way to step away from sort of the Detective Stewart-esque stuff.
Yeah.
I think in general we probably just need a break from that formula.
Yeah.
Granted, the noir and all that formula is always great. So I say that with a grain of salt because we'll probably still.
Well,
we'll still have noir voiceovers.
Well, for sure. But to answer your question, I think to finally answer your question, I say yes, it's definitely on the table for Detective Cassidy.
Gotcha.
I think Detective Stewart. I think if he would reprise his role as like a flashback, whatever.
It's either that or he'll be like what was it, the Force Ghost in Star Wars?
Oh yeah,
He'll just be a glowing half hologram, just saying useless information.
Well, I mean, if that's what it's got to be, I mean,
did you try killing pigeons? Well, I got no advice for you then, kid.
I think having no budget, but also having no one pressuring us.
Yeah, right.
That they have to do it this way because they're putting money into it gives us the full flexibility.
That is true. That is very true.
So Detective Stewart, I think, will always there's always room for Detective Stewart to come back.
Netflix, we're calling you out. Give us money for this.
What? Well, my question to you is, if we had money, and we pumped it into Detective Stewart, what would be the one thing you would change or add or try to? And it could be anything. I mean, it could range from making it a movie or shooting.
That's
equipment
it. That's
making
it.
a movie.
It would be a full-fledged movie.
Okay.
It would be filmed in Hollywood.
Okay.
Well, okay, maybe not the Hollywood part, but it would definitely be a full-length movie. It would sort of, it would literally be your full storyline. Probably would end the same way.
Right.
But just with, in an hour 30, hour 45-minute stance and violence galore for sure. It would be probably the violence to what we saw today in Evil Dead Rise. It would be to that caliber.
Okay.
I would hope. I would hope.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. But I feel like all the nooks. If it was that much of a potential investment and everything in it, I feel like we'd have our special effects department. We'd have we wouldn't be wearing 4,000 hats
know.
ourselves and losing our mind, having fun doing it. Like, don't get me wrong.
For sure.
I've loved every second of editing it, no matter how much it hurt my eyes. And I went to sleep. I went to sleep literally not being able to sleep, trying to figure out how I'm going to put certain parts of the movie together. But it would be great to have that dispersed on other people, so then the vision can just sort of flow better.
Right.
And I think, if it had the possibility, I think it could work as a full hour 40 feature.
Yeah. I would say if I had the chance, I would make a Detective Stewart action figure.
Yeah.
I would, where if you push on
that would be sick.
the stomach, it does like 5 different catchphrases.
Yeah. What would he say? What would it be?
Die pigeons, Martha,
Blam.
something about packages.
Yeah. It would have to be very much bound in the first few episodes, and maybe a couple lines from the final episodes.
Santa, can I hear you? Santa, I can hear you.
Santa, I can hear you.
But yeah, no, I think okay.
I
yeah.
think he would be equivalent to the Krusty the Clown
For
stuffed
sure.
animal, because it's one of those, like, it's an advertisement, but it's also a toy. So
Oh yeah. Well, you know who's like
you
that?
pull the string, Detective Stewart, only on YouTube.
You know who's the real Krusty the? You know who's a real life Krusty the Krab?
Who's
sort
that?
of Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah.
He's everywhere. If he had the chance to put on toilet paper, he would. But
yeah.
In this case, if I knew a way of making just a couple of action figures, even if it's just 2 for me and you.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I want to see how much that would cost and do, but that was
I'm already in my brain. I'm already having the gears churning. I don't know why I keep saying churning, but the gears rolling.
Yeah.
To get this on a Blu-ray, like a professional Bluray. I know it's doable to burn it onto a Blu-ray.
I would love for it to say Detective Stewart complete series.
Oh yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah,
with
that
the
would be
menu
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah, that would be fucking awesome.
That would be cool.
And I'm sure it's very doable, but it's we got to get someone that's Blu-ray software and all that stuff. Okay, so to leave off, enjoy it. Let us know what you think. Buy some merch. Have a good life.
Fund the Blu-ray.
Fund the Blu-ray. I like that. Fund the Blu-ray.
Look for the Blu-ray on Kickstarter.
Until then, peace out.
Deuces.
Damien, can you come in the bathroom, please?
Okay.
You look in the shower.
Yeah. Well, what's the problem?
What's the problem? It's 3 feet of... It's flooded. It's like 3 feet of water there. What the fuck did you do? Weren't you the last one in the shower?
Yeah. What's the big deal? I figured I'd shower and use everything. I figured the toilet didn't need to be used. I just hop right in the shower.
Are you Oh, God. Can you go answer that while I go deal with the shower?
All right, I'll go check it out.
Hi, you Damien?
Oh yeah, that's me. What's up?
Yeah, hi. I heard you flooded the shower. Did you clog it?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
no, you did. So I'm known as the clog whisperer. Anytime somebody's bathroom gets clogged, I basically the muscles in my body contract and I start having spasms. But it brought me here, and I just before I do my full operation, can you just tell me what you did so I know how to approach this?
I'm just trying to figure out how you found my...
So we're gonna go with jerking off. So go ahead, let me bring you to the shower really quick. Who the fuck is this guy? Hi, I'm the clog whisperer. Well, I'll introduce myself later. So why don't you show me about this clog, and I'm gonna go ahead and address it. And so it sounds like Damien has jerked off in it.
I mean, maybe it was my roommate. I don't know.
They all say that. So usually, let me test this water really quick.
But
Yeah.
Is he drinking the water?
Semen grade A. So I have the clog fogger. It's just a little air pressure gun. It's got some mystical things in here too, but I'll explain to you in a second. And 1, 2, 3. Holy fuck. It's fucking draining, dude. I don't know who
Holy
you are,
shit.
but that is kind of incredible. But, okay, what do we do from here on so this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, seriously, I need to know, because...
Well, first off, Damien, you should probably just jerk off like everyone else in their underwears. Stop doing it in the shower.
I told you, it's not me.
Well, look what I just pulled out of the drain.
Oh fuck! It looks just like me.
Yeah, that's what happens.
All right, you got me.
Grade A semen turns into fetuses, which will eventually turn into a kid when you let it sit too long. This is what the clock whisperer.
Get the come out of your dreams.